Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Pub Table Racers. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving. Last we talked to everybody. My name is Tim Packman. So next to me is my friend of 24 years and co-host and co-owner of Pub Table Racers,
Warren Brosell.
There you go. How you been, bud?
Good.
Good.
You?
You know what?
Did a little traveling?
A little traveling. Yep. We'll talk about that in a minute. I'm off tomorrow for some more traveling. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you guys. We got a good show tonight. We have with us Ryan Flores. Tire changer, fabricator, works at Team Penske, championship indoor TQ Midget racer, just won another race at Wall Stadium for the Street Stock Derby, or Turkey Derby, and he's going to join us tonight and talk about his life and all the cool stuff he has. He's also a business owner, which you'll find out in a little bit. Warren, why do we have a bucket? What?
Unsung hero of the sport.
Okay.
I got to get that in there because
well,
that's why we do this. We have a bucket of beer in front of us because we like to sit around, talk about racing, drink beer, and get these unsung heroes in on our show.
Exactly, and
let them speak their minds.
Exactly, and Miller High Life.
We can't get Kevin Harvick like Dale Jr.
We could. Well, we
never
had
know.
Robinson. We've had a lot of people who've been on.
You never know.
Well, it's okay. We're going to run our own race, and he's got a little bit of a pull, but that's okay. But I told you, we did get a compliment a few weeks ago from Mike Davis, who said outstanding product in PTR, so I'll take that.
I'll we
Okay. We are coming live from the Rapid Removal Studios right here in Mooresville, North Carolina, also known as Warren's Man Cave. And this is our big exotic setup. Let's talk about our sponsors. Rapid Removal. Warren, if I want to get rid of remodeling, construction,
garbage.
Well, not so much garbage.
You clean out a house. Whatever. Darren has boxes. Dumpster boxes.
Yep, 20 yards.
And they roll off.
Right.
And they don't damage anything.
No, they sit on tires. Soft tires, so there's no
damage.
Skid. Yeah, no damage.
And you'll put it in your
Perfect.
area of responsibility, and you can fill it up and get rid of it.
There you go. Call them at 704-507-7833. But call them after the show. That's all we ask. You can wait. Also, we'd like to thank our friends at racingjunk.com. Buy, sell, trade, anything and everything that has wheels. Just check them out. They have
nuts, bolts, wheels,
whatever they have,
skis,
clothing, everything. Go check them out. We appreciate that. And also the Garage Shop, our affiliation with them, Aaron Brown and the guys over there. They are going to be busy this week, as myself is, and racingjunk.com. We're going to PRI, Performance Racing Industry, in Indianapolis. Leave out tomorrow morning. We're in booth 5349, the safety cleaning booth. And we have the big Dodge Daytona sitting there. So
nice.
Yeah, it'll be good. I look forward to it. I just got back from Reno for the Racing Promoter Promotions Month. I sure did.
Arms are killing you.
Oh, well, yeah. It was terrible. That's fine. But I had to go to Salt Lake first. It was kind of cool because we went over the salt flats. And I was like, I was there. I didn't drink to the toast thing. I'm pretty good. Oh, no, I drink it. Thanks.
There's only two kinds of beer, cold and free.
Exactly. Or provided. I like to go with that. Every show. We are accepting sponsors, by the way. Rapid Removal will be going away in a little bit. We appreciate his time, but we now have room for a new title sponsor. If you want to be a sponsor, it could be the Your Name Studios. That's it. Perfect. And now with us going to Speed51.tv, a lot more eyeballs
on our product.
A lot.
And yours.
Exactly. So we'll be there. Racing Promoters Workshop out west. It was good to see everybody and be back in the business. Short track racing, it's thriving. It's doing good in some areas and a lot of
your namesake.
What's that?
That's your namesake.
That's
your
short track.
That's your roots.
It is
your bread and butter.
First job.
That's what you do.
First job ever was cooking the concessions at Lancaster Speedway. So out there doing that. Also did that. Oh, real quick, Rich Bickle wrapped up his 45-year racing career at the Snowball Derby. Didn't have great results, but I give the man credit. I mean, he's like a true racer. He just loves the race. Went out, only 5-time winner of the Derby. And I've been friends with him for 21 years now, and I have nothing but mad respect for him. And the sport's going to miss a guy like that went through all the stuff he went through in the short tracks and super late models and trucks and Cup and Xfinity.
Yeah. I'll say Wisconsinite racer,
right.
Like myself.
Yep.
And just a great guy.
Yeah.
a true racer. You just mark him down as a true racer. Left here when he left here
Went back
after
home.
his stint in trucks and cup, and went back home and
Didn't do stuff for about 5 years.
and
Then he got
still
back
late
in.
but went late model racing and still
Kicked ass.
kicked ass and finished his career with
7 wins this year.
a lot of good stuff.
Did a big tribute to him, a big banner and
Yeah.
everything. So it was great. So Rich Bickle, here's you, my friend.
Cheers, Rich.
Congratulations on your career.
Absolutely.
That's it. There won't be another like him. I can honestly say that.
You
I feel there
know,
won't
so I say it like this,
Go
not
ahead.
to downsize
Yeah, that's
that,
fine.
but you know, he reminds me a lot of Dick Trickle
Exactly.
and Jim Sauter and a lot of my other, you know, Matt Kens, my
Sure.
other
Wisconsin.
Wisconsinites, and there could be another like him,
Could be.
but we'll have to wait.
Right. We'll have to wait.
How about that?
I don't see one in the
We're
next
gonna
2-3
have
years.
to
Right.
wait.
Right. So anyhow,
He's
we got
definitely
that.
one of a kind.
Yes, exactly. Happy birthday to my baseball hero Johnny Bench.
Okay,
So I throw that in there.
throw it in
I
there.
threw it in there, and a special tribute to Pearl Harbor Day is today, and the people in the Navy that were affected and the military affected on that day. 80 years ago today.
80 years.
80 years ago today. Wow.
Yeah.
I watched the movie Midway, flying out to Reno. Unbelievable movie, very timely. So it's good. Also, if you're watching and you worked at Dale Earnhardt Incorporated, please reach out to me if you're not getting an invitation. Invite only to the DEI Highway Reunion. Oh, sorry, can't say that. The Highway 3 reunion taking place next weekend. Get in touch with me for details. I'll send you the invite. Looking forward to seeing a lot of people there. It'll be held in Kannapolis. It's time we got together and hung out. We're doing a
Sure.
big group picture by the Dale statue at 4 p.m. It starts at 3. But come reach out to me and I'll send you an invite if I haven't already.
Come on.
And if you know someone I haven't invited, please let me know that. Okay, so we're good there. Let's talk about news real quick. Biggest one for me was GMS and Richard Petty Motorsports.
GMS Richard Petty Motorsports.
Did you know that was coming?
You know, there was some scuttlebutt about it.
Yeah,
It makes sense.
it makes total sense.
You know, I liked 42, 43
I like
thing
that too,
that
yeah.
came out. Ty Dillon in a 42 and Eric Jones in a 43. Good stuff. Right? I'm right.
42, 43, yeah. So I'm going back to the mellow yellow car.
Mellow yellow.
But then it's perfect.
He
42.
could do that as a throwback.
42 is not getting used anymore. Canassi's out. Chris Giorgio and Merry Christmas, fellas. Thank you for another episode. Speaking of other episodes, well, let's squeeze it in. On the 2 weeks from tonight, be the 21st, right?
If you say so.
Well, it's 7 times 14. Yeah. Our guest will be Larry McReynolds, the one and only.
Okay.
So we'll have him on. So that'll be our Christmas show.
It'll be big.
It'll be big. It was big last year.
We were going to get John McClane, but he's at the Nakatomi Tower.
Exactly.
Saving lives.
He's too busy saving lives. Get a beer to him. Skip Rebay Skip, Steve Patoknak from Disney, Florida. Wow, you watching us? You getting bored with the mouse there, Stephen? Mary Stevens, 79th birthday of Peter Tomarkin, game show host.
Okay.
Didn't know that. What else we have here, real quick? So that Nice Motorsports news came out today. They finally filled all 4 of their trucks for next year. And did you watch the banquet at all?
I did a little bit. I was a little bit miffed. Can I say miffed?
Yeah.
You get what miffed
Sure.
is?
Yeah.
On why Chase Elliott looked like the guy from Poltergeist with that hat on.
Yeah.
Anthrax, Among the Living. He had that hat on.
I
was
saw.
like, what's his hat?
I had no idea where that came from.
You ever see Poltergeist 2?
Yeah.
The guy
I
with the hat?
don't know what his look was.
Chase had that hat. I was like,
Hey, but kudos to your team. Your guys did the
They did a
burnout.
three-way burnout, yeah.
I thought that was cool as hell. I thought that was great. That was like the best burnout ever.
that was pretty cool.
All 3 together, so it was good. David Johnson says, "Hey guys, so he's joining us tonight. We're watching you, David. Don't worry." All right, I think we're good. We're good. You ready?
We're good. Let's bring him.
Bring on our
Bring
guest. All right. We now have coming to the chair, Mike Wallace of Super PR Dude. Not yet, Mike. Ryan Flores. He is a fabricator, tire changer, over-the-wall guy, championship TQ Midget indoor racer. just won the street stock race at the Turkey Derby.
Yeah.
Okay. And you also own your own company called Flo Powder. Is that right?
Yeah, Flo Coating.
Flo Coating,
Powder
sorry.
coating, yeah.
And we'll get to that in a minute. So, hey, first of all, thanks for joining us. And can we introduce you about Nelson?
You can have a high life.
It's not mandatory.
Champagne.
The champagne of beers.
Champagne of beers.
It's not mandatory, but it helps.
You can sip it.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Cheers. Thanks for coming
Cheers,
on.
buddy.
Appreciate it.
Guys.
Thanks for coming.
Flores powder coats our seats. They do a great job. Andy Cryan from Butler.
Nice.
So Andy
Yeah.
From Lancaster
Oh,
Speedway.
yeah.
Another
Okay.
street stock champion. All right. First of all, where's your hometown?
So I grew up in Manasquan, New Jersey, which is right next to Wall, New Jersey,
Right.
which is where Wall Stadium is.
Right.
So right there on the Jersey Shore.
And did you go to that track a lot as a kid?
Grew up there. I mean, I've been going there since I was in my mom's stomach, right? And had a lot of memories there.
First time someone said that, I love it.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
it. Wow.
I went around Watkins Glen when I was in my mom's. Yeah. In a Corvette, so it's in a Corvette, so it's great. Sorry, it just threw me there. So when did you go from fan in the stands to, working or racing, or what was your first step in this?
What was
Yeah.
your first stint of racing or your first taste of going to the racetrack, like with your mom or dad?
So yeah, I reflected on this a lot because my dad was a street stock racer.
Okay.
And there was a junkyard. The Blewitts own it now. Jimmy and John Blewett. But the Osbornes owned it then, and it was kind of a good group of guys that would all build their cars out of there. And I remember driving from there one day in the middle of the wrecker, going to Wall Stadium for practice, and just growing up, on the open trailers, racing street stocks with my dad. And I started driving when I was 5 years old. They put a quarter midget track behind Wall Stadium. We started racing there.
Okay.
At 5, so been doing it for a long time.
So your dad built your car, or your dad and your uncle, whoever.
Yeah.
You got a car when you were 5, and you were quarter midget racing.
Yeah, I was not very good when I started. Actually, Stephanie Russo, who's the official,
Yeah.
Yeah.
her brother was my best friend in novice school.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
So
okay.
she grew up right there.
Very
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick for me, I forgot one thing. Folks, Christmas is coming. We have merchandise. We have all kinds of great merchandise. What do we have, Warren? We have tumblers. We have those beautiful hats in front of you. And we also have T-shirts, like you see right there.
Ooh.
It'll look good on you too, like it does on Warren. Exactly. Good stuff.
Fitted.
And by the way,
Fitted.
we are
Well
throwing...
fitted.
I am in a Santa Claus giving mood tonight. So anytime you buy any item, we will throw in... I'm kidding. I kid. Absolutely free, 2 stickers for every product ordered.
Right.
How's that for generous?
Nice.
Gosh, just because we love you people so much. Okay, there we go. Johnson did not see the GMS petty deal coming. I don't think a lot of people did. So anyhow, so you started racing. Thank you for let's do a quick commercial.
Oh.
You started racing, and then
At 5.
at 5, and your progression, you weren't very good. You said.
Well, the first couple of years were a little
Yeah.
rough, but it was
5,
fun. I mean,
yeah.
it was me and my dad did it out of my van, out of a back of a van,
Right.
Forever,
That's all you need, yeah.
And it was kind of the progression of like people would show up with bigger trailers, and it became a crazy deal. And we just raced that back to this
Right.
plumbing van and moved the fittings over and get the car in there, and then we went to race.
So you're pretty much rich.
Yeah, just loaded.
You were loaded.
Yeah.
Loaded with plumbing fittings.
Oh yeah.
Silver pipe in his mouth.
Copper's up right now. Right?
You were burning a
Copper's up, yeah.
copper pipe in your mouth. No silver spoon here. Yeah, no silver spoon here. So you progressed from there, and you started. When did you start getting good?
So we won a championship. I think my last year racing, I was 13 or 14, and then we moved up. You couldn't race New Jersey. New Jersey's weird because it's the racing is run by the state police.
Exactly.
So I couldn't even get in the pits till I was 18, right? So I'd work on the car. Like we'd race at East Windsor on Friday nights, and I'd work on the dirt. That was a dirt track. I'd work on my cousin's car all week, and then we'd get to the track, and I'd have to go sit in the stands for like 5 hours before the race started and watch them grade the track.
Sure.
So while in New Jersey at that point in time, it was a really good racing scene. You could race New Egypt, Bridgeport on Fridays, New Egypt on Wednesdays, Wall Stadium on Saturdays. You can go
We have a
to
Bridgeport hat over there.
yeah. You could do a lot of you could do a lot of racing back then. Now everything kind of races on Saturday night, so it conflicts. But back then it was spread out, and it was a really good time to grow up there.
So when you were going through, and then you moved up from there, you moved into the...
Moved into Pintos actually in Mahoning Valley. So yeah, that's where I was
Mahoning
going with
Valley,
that.
okay.
It was
Okay.
weird. It was weird. We couldn't race in New Jersey, so we went to Pennsylvania. That went on for a little bit, and my parents kind of a little bit of a broken home, and everything kind of got split up there. And I was kind of on my own at 14, and I moved in with the Blewitts. So my
Wow.
like my I wasn't like on my own out nothing, but I just needed to get away from home.
Right.
Sure.
So I moved
I was 13. I know what's going on.
Yeah. So I moved into the Blewett's garage, and that was like, this is like John Blewett III was winning tour races. Jimmy was coming up and winning championships at Wall Stadium. Rough junkyard family, like very much so a family that is tough love.
Tough love and workaholics, right?
And hard, the hard way, right?
Sean, go to bed, do your chores, I love you.
Right.
Yeah, there's no shortcut. So I would go there after school, and my mom would pick me up at like 7 a.m. and bring me to school in the morning.
Oh my gosh!
So it was a great experience.
I'm sure.
Learned a lot of life lessons
So
there.
you were done. You were done at an early age.
Oh yeah.
Never saw yourself doing anything different.
I was home the other day, and I looked at I wrestled in high school, and my senior brochure said, everybody's like, going to Rutgers, going to Princeton, gonna move to North Carolina, try to work for a race team. So that's kind of where, once I kind of realized what it took to drive the cars and kind of the funding it took, and I was behind the times on the funding and all that, and kind of getting that. So me and my cousin started a fabrication business in North Carolina. So we build bodies for modifieds for like the Truexes, Timmy Air.
And you're how old at this point?
I was 16 or 17.
Okay. You were living here?
I was still there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when did the move come down here?
I moved here right when I was 19. So I had some friends, the Molesworths. So through all that whole time, my buddies, the Molesworths, they would race the summer shootout.
Oh yeah.
We'd go racing in Virginia with them, because, like I said, this is all a product of New Jersey not letting young kids race.
Right.
We'd have to go other places. So we'd race in Virginia, Southside Speedway, Old Dominion, and then we'd go to the summer shootout every Tuesday and Wednesday. Tuesday was practice, Wednesday was a race, or maybe it was Monday, Tuesday. Met a lot of people there. And that when I moved down here, they bought a house on Lake Norman because they wanted to go late model racing. They said, "Hey, we got this house. We want to go live on the couch." So I moved down here.
Kind of a couch guy.
Yeah,
That's it.
Yeah, I mean that's it.
We all start on somebody's couch.
Yeah, and
You were kind enough to give me a spare bedroom when well,
I was on a couch when I came here.
Sure, yeah.
you got no choice. Really.
No, I mean, if you want to do this,
Exactly, bad enough.
Yes, I loaded up, and I kind of went around and I didn't know anybody. I knew Richie Evans Jr. was the only one I knew, and I gave my resume to like everyone, and Roush called back. I was working on Legend cars. I'd been here for 2 months, and Roush called back, and they were like, "Can you come in and talk to us?" And I talked to him. Went in there. I wanted to be a spotter because that's what I did for Jimmy and John. And I was a fabricator, but I was just a racer, like a short track racer. To me, we just did everything. It was like, okay, hey, go build that nose, then come mount these tires, then we're going to put these shocks on.
You don't necessarily think of yourself as a fabricator because you just think everybody does it.
Yeah, the nose had to be built.
Right.
Like, it's like, all right, and go weld that up.
Yeah.
So you just learned how to weld.
Yeah,
It would be done. Like, I wasn't trying to, it was before, like, I wasn't trying to do it to be cool for Instagram. It's just I needed to be done, right? So you just... Yeah,
on land dime, baby.
No, like, I never, you didn't take a picture.
No,
I was back there, just what the hell?
You just made sure they looked good so the guy you were doing it for didn't go, you suck at welding.
Yeah.
That's funny enough.
Yeah, they were like, we don't have a spotting gig for you. It was at the truck shop in Mooresville. I used to just get lost in Mooresville. We lived off Stutz Road.
All right.
Down on Commodore Loop, right across. It was on the
I was at Shoreline and Stutz. I know exactly where you were.
Yeah, it was really nice. It was a cool little beach. It was a cool little like lake house.
I lived on Commodore too.
Yeah, we had a great time there, but I went. It was like really abrupt. I was 19 years old. I was hanging out all night and waking up late. And then they were like, "Hey, we got a job open in our cup shop as a fabricator. Wow. Be there at 5:30 a.m. Monday morning." We worked 6:30 to 5:30 then it was in the finish fab shop.
Right.
So I went in there at 19.
We went from short track to Roush Cup.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a jump.
Yeah, and I went in there. I built valances. Right. It was 07, so it was the year that the first year of the COT car. So it was like half and half. So we'd run like the short tracks with the
plastic valance or metal and plastic.
So you'd have plastic valances and side skirts. And when I was there for 4 years, and when I went in there, like I'd build the valances, and when I left, I could do everything.
Yeah.
It was like I went to college.
Oh, you learned everything.
I learned how to TIG weld. I learned how to go on the road and do tires. Larry Carter, they gave me the nickname Flea. because everybody from Jersey was dirty and had fleas, so fleas stuck. I had about 5,000 nicknames at the beginning.
Yeah,
but that was just cup racing, and it was funny. Like 10
I
weeks,
call them Flonase.
yeah, 10 weeks into my cup career, I got a guy missed the plane on the 26 car.
Okay.
And I had to I went and was like pit support on that.
Mm-hmm.
They were like,
Was that with
"What do you wanna do
McMurray?
it?" Yeah, with McMurray.
Okay.
And we went. When Larry Carter took my name,
Yep.
and filled out my paperwork for hard card, and Matthew Bradich, who he's in New York now, but he came to me and said, "Hey man, you got to fill out your paperwork because Larry just sent all of your license stuff to NASCAR as the name Flea."
Seriously?
One word, like I was SEAL or some sort of artist. So it's like,
So,
yeah.
I mean, but
Bono has a real name. That's on there, yeah.
so that was fun. That was kind of like, and then with with Larry Carter and that whole group were really good racers. Ben Holm, Derek Stan, a lot of good guys.
Absolutely.
And I taught myself when I was there as well. I was like, man, those picker guys, that looks like fun.
Yeah.
And they were like, "You're never going to be able to do that." And I'm like, "Well, I'm going to go out to the pit. Like, I'm going to
Really?
try."
Someone told you that?
Oh no, not someone. Everyone.
Hey,
Really?
We've
and
heard it.
Don't you hate? Didn't that piss you off?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it was
Motivation.
like if I saw me then, I'd probably be like, "Yeah, this kid will never be a tire changer either." I was like 130 pounds, and it was kind of
No, but it's almost perfect.
Yeah.
Low to the ground.
I mean, the build is
Sure.
like, you got to be lanky. You got to be, you got to be about that $130, $150 lanky
I weighed that for a week.
and speedy around the car.
Yeah. So it was
So
it was a grind there. Like I felt like that was my college. Right. I never went to college. I was never real studious or a good student.
Right.
But I went there and I left there like bulletproof. Like I could do anything. I could do tires. I could sling springs, whatever we need to do, fabricate.
did you start changing then?
Started, so they wouldn't let me ever change.
Warren, what
my
was
car.
he? He was a
He's a roofer
because
because everything from the roof down.
that's what Ryan could do.
Okay.
That's one of
So,
his favorite phrases.
for a whole year I built rear windows and that was it.
Wow.
But I was excited because we had the Busch cars came down there, so I built the 3-piece,
Right.
the bled air and all
Oh
that.
yeah, you were cutting them, and
the whole
people don't even know what used to go into windows.
But they wouldn't let me go change tires. They were like, "No, you're a fabricator. You're not going to go do
But
that."
you were practicing.
But I would go out there till my freaking knuckles bled.
Okay.
Lunchtime, they called us the lunch bunch, and then after work, and I got a job. I got Bobby Hutchins,
Yep.
who it came full circle. We'd come down here and race the Smart Tour.
Mm-hmm.
Are we drinking the Bobby Hutchins?
No, we're just drinking to the. I'm Irish and
So
I will. He's a great guy.
So yeah,
Plus,
awesome.
I need another beer.
I had met him at Martinsville, and I said, "Hey, I'm trying to break into changing tires, and
Right.
I can do this stuff, and I feel like they never let me out of the finish fab shop at Roush." By the way, when I was 14 years old, I was at your house changing a motor when we were racing the Smart Tour with my buddy. He's like, "You were there that day?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he's
So
like,
you knew Bobby?
So I didn't know him, but I'd been around,
yeah.
right? So he's like, all the people come
You
on,
could use that, yeah.
come do a tryout. So I went there with Joe Piet, who was just at Penske again. He was the head coach, and I did 4 12/8s in a row. And they were like,
Front or rear?
I did both
Okay.
at the time, and they were like, they called me back. He said, "Hey, we're gonna offer your deal." So I went over there as the development tire changer in 2011, and I worked in the Aero group.
Okay.
Because I was a fabricator, and I worked with Scott Robinette, who's like one of the most badass unsung heroes of the sport.
Yeah,
right?
great
He's
guy.
Done everything, been tired, won a championship carrying tires for Earnhardt,
Sure.
all the stuff. Just a great guy. Someone that no one ever hears of, right?
Another guy that you don't
Yeah.
that has been through the ringer and you don't hear.
So, question.
Yeah.
When you 19 years old, you started Roush. Can you share what pay range you were in per week, or was it yearly, or what was it?
Dude, I would have taken like $500
week?
a week,
Right.
but Wayne Gaudette, who's still over there, he's one of the best people to ever meet. He was the finish fab foreman. It was a 6-week trial I was on, and there was 8 other people that were in there. And he came to me after 3 weeks and said, "You're awesome for a 19-year-old. You're here all the time. You're awesome. I'm signing you up." And I think he gave me 50 or 60 grand a year, which at that time I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
So about 800.
That's a good.
800,
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
At 19?
At 19, I was like, man, this is great.
I'm rolling.
Yeah, I actually took a pay cut.
This
to
is
go to
probably
Fort Hawk.
what year are we talking? Maybe
07.
Oh, okay, 07.
So I mean,
So you were living over on Commodore in 07.
yeah.
So we were neighbors.
Yep,
So
I
on
was
the
still
corner.
living.
It's a hate. 07's a pretty good hate. I'll say it's one of our close to our heyday.
Because the next year,
A lot of us were making pretty goddamn good money.
Yeah, and I wasn't like, I don't know. I just saw kind of.
You were killing it for 19.
For
I'll tell
19,
you
that
that.
was good.
and your
Yeah,
friends
right.
were still home making shakes and fries for people.
Right.
Yeah.
If that guy went to Rutgers, was like, shit.
Yeah.
Not that that's bad.
It's better than paying.
Rutgers.
Better than paying $60,000 a year.
Okay, yes.
So exactly.
Yeah.
There's still some student loans out there. Yeah. So when you finally got on, when was your first over-the-wall experience at a race?
I took my first ever one. I was still at Roush. It was for Norm Benning at Martinsville, and I was like, I mean, he gave me $100 cash after I had to chase him down. But he gave me $100
You had to chase
cash.
Norm down and change
He was in the
tires.
Sobe,
Because he was going so slow.
in the Sobe, in the Sobe
Oh,
hauler there.
okay.
I remember he gave me
Oh my God.
$100 cash, but I was just trying to get to the track.
Right, exactly.
And then Stuart Haas the next year went to R3. You were there.
Yep. So that's where we worked together.
Changed tires for R3.
Robert Richardson Jr.
Yep. And Darian Grubb had met or called me to his office, and he said, "Hey."
Darian Grubbs, to explain to people, no.
Darian Grubb was a crew chief for Tony
Right.
in 2011.
And
He said-
Stuart Haas.
yeah,
Stuart Haas, yeah.
He said, "Hey, if Bergie, you guys know Bergie.
Yeah, I
He
know
said,
Bergie.
If Bergie thinks you're a good guy, if Bergie's got good stuff to say about you, you're on my team.
Perfect.
So I want you to come with me."
Okay.
So I would go. I would work. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Thursday we would be in the wind tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
I would leave the wind tunnel right there, wind shear.
Wind shear or aerodyne?
Wind shear.
Wind shear.
So we did all of our development stuff at wind shear.
Yep.
And then we take all of our race cars to Aerodyne and test them there
Yeah.
when we were at Storehouse, because Storehouse owned wind shear.
Yeah.
So you had every Thursday block.
And this is before there was any kind of. You could use as much time as you wanted.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
Whatever
NASCAR
you-
said,
You'd run out of stuff to do.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Sorry.
So I would leave there and go straight to the airplane. Like
Okay.
I would,
Wow.
because I didn't have any family or anything. So I'd go like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday pit practice and work in the shop. Then Thursday we'd be at the wind tunnel. I'd leave, go to pit practice, come back to the wind tunnel, drive from the wind tunnel right across the street to the airport, take off, and I would find a truck deal, do the R3 Xfinity deal, and then back up for Tony on Sundays, and I would help in the garage. Like I wouldn't just stay in the hotel. I'd go in when practice was running.
Right.
And help. Jabba was the car chief. He crew chiefs.
You
Franklin
worked.
Jones.
You
now.
worked.
You worked.
Yeah, I just try to learn.
Yeah.
Just try to be a student of the sport.
which is good because a lot of them try it now and go, I'm good. What do you? Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
there's also a divide there, right?
Yeah.
Like a lot of there was like I don't want to ever poo-poo on picking.
No.
guys.
I
No,
know
no,
what you're
yeah.
trying to say.
So-
I'll say it so you don't have to. There's a difference between a guy that has come from a racing background and become a tire changer, and there's a guy that is an athlete who has become a tire changer, and that athlete unfortunately can't come into the garage and work on the car.
Right.
A guy who's done it the other way and is a fabricator and became a tire changer can come and work in the garage.
In their defense,
Is that fair?
In their defense, it'd be like us trying to go play.
Exactly.
Read a playbook for football,
Right.
right?
Yeah, I don't take nothing away
No,
from them guys.
it's not like it's not.
It's just the way it is.
It's just the way that they've been hired. The
Yeah.
learning curve is faster. I've learned a lot from the guys that I work with that were professional athletes.
So your college was actually working.
at Roush.
That was it.
Yes,
So
that was it.
Because
Yeah.
that's all you wanted to do.
Yeah, that
So
was it.
you were fine with that.
Yeah.
Which is good. Mule, David Nichols says, I remember that 19-year-old kid for sure. And then he says, he's a closet tire specialist.
Oh, yeah. I try to hide it, but every time.
You don't want to tell anybody.
Wait a minute, let me
you
back
have your
it up.
tires or drive a truck.
Let's back that up. Bender says, I was going to say that. So, you got two tire specialists.
Well, every time Mule seems to get hurt like once every other year. Twist his ankle, or hurts his back, and I always end up having to go
Right.
do tires. But
Probably because he's fighting again.
yeah, you never know. Hey, them upstate New York.
Yeah, no, trust me.
Got
Yeah.
to body slam Denny Hamlin every once in a
He's
while.
been on more highlight reels, but not for Victory Lane. Yeah, he's like, hey, did you see that? Oh, we have a fight.
Yeah.
All right, so we did. By the way, if you do have any questions or comments you want to chime in, please do throughout the night. Ryan's here to answer those, and so if you have any questions as you're listening along, just chime in because, as you can see, Mule and Bender did, but that's okay. We expect that. But anyone else watching, please. We have a good amount of viewers tonight.
I
So
knew
good.
we would.
I knew we would.
Yeah, that's good.
All right, so as your career's going along, you're now established tire changer.
So
remember your first victory. What was your first victory?
It was a grind there. My first Cup victory. So I went from like the 14. The first time I was ever in victory lane with a car was a 26 car at the 400. The Coke, the
Firecracker
July,
400.
Firecracker 400.
Okay.
July, he beat Kyle Busch to the line by like an inch.
Okay.
Went with Tony in 2011. Won the championship. That was the year he beat Carl.
Right.
5 races in the chase.
Yeah.
That was just a surreal year, and that was really cool. Then the next year, I was still with them sometimes, but Danica ran a limited schedule. I changed rear tires for her.
Okay.
And then the year after that was with Newman. So I got to do a lot of stuff there. Kind of got moved around in the shop and did a lot like what you do, just for the 14. Fit the cows, do all the finish fit work, kind of
Right.
put the illegal stuff on after tech.
I don't do nothing.
Not with that. There's no illegal stuff anymore. But like try to do all that stuff. And
You're widgety.
I was like one of the guys that they didn't care if he got thrown out. So hey, go do that. And we don't know what that kid's doing, so that was cool. But then opportunity came to go to Penske, and kind of stuff went stale with tire changing at Stuart Haas. So I moved to go to Penske and worked in the. It was cool because I kind of got to do the fab stuff at Roush, and then I got to do the aero stuff and learn a lot about that.
Good.
Then I got to do 7-post and K-rig stuff at Penske. So I feel like I'm well-rounded as far as being able to do that.
Absolutely.
And it helps with my own cars.
Sure.
And
So we're going to get that 1 second. Keith Barton says, good deal, Ryan mentioned skin and bones.
Yeah, Keith does all our blasting when we work
Okay,
together.
good.
So it's nice. Another guy that's in racing that
Good.
kind of started his own business. We get to work together.
Can you?
Real quick, Tom Beatty is our #1 fan. We got to take care of him.
Yeah, take care
Because
of
you
Tom.
know how he gets if you don't. I mean that in a nice way, Tom. Who was your favorite NASCAR driver?
We were Elliott fans growing up. It was just whoever my dad liked,
Right,
right?
sure,
He liked
yeah.
Bill Elliott. I always, I always was like a guy like Jeff Gordon and that stuff. And now it's my buddy Corey's probably my
Right,
favorite. As much
So-
I don't want to be biased.
That's fine. You bring it up. You do a podcast every week with him. It's called Stacking Pennies.
Yeah.
And when is it, and how do you hear it, see it?
So we do it with NASCAR, with our 2 friends, Jonathan Merriman and Chuck Bush, that work for NASCAR. We do it. I think it comes out every Wednesday. We film it on Mondays usually, and we just talk about racing and just try to give an in-depth, relevant
Because you're on the inside of the
outlook
sport.
of what's
Right.
going
We
on.
had Corey.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's all like what you guys do. Same thing.
No.
Just
So-
trying to-
so-
But
I-
NASCAR doesn't want us to be on their stuff.
I got to ask you this. I want you to explain to some of the folks that of your ups and downs, right? Because there's peaks and valleys in this.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
And I know your story getting to where you're at today. There was a lot of peaks and valleys of ups and downs, especially for a tire changer.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Of you working at Roush and then going to Stuart Haas and then ending up at Penske. So your peaks and valleys. Did you ever were you ever on a team that was a championship team and then you get shut down and then you get kicked off? So give us a little bit of give us a hint of that.
There was a ton of valleys, or I would say peaks the wrong way, right?
Okay.
Holes.
Oh, I like that. Never heard
So like Roush wouldn't even let me go to the track to change tires. Like,
Right.
They were like, no chance. And then got to Stuart Haas and kind of had to fight for everything I had there, but still felt, even my 3 years there, they kind of said, hey, if you want to move on, you can. And Penske had asked me to come to be on the 2 car.
Right.
And I made it 2 stops in Daytona 500, got pulled off.
Okay.
That year I'd hurt my wrist at Turkey Derby,
Okay.
and they had developed a new pick gun, and it just wasn't jiving. And I left a place to go to another place, and 2 stops into the Daytona 500, I'm pulling gas, right? So, but at that age, at 24, 25 years old, I needed that humble pie,
Right.
right? I needed
Yes.
that in my life, and been on, then I get on the Xfinity car, right? We're going to win a championship. They pull me off for a guy that from another company, right? They and you just and then you just go, okay, I'm going to go on this other Xfinity car here, and I'm going to make sure my numbers are better than his.
Right.
So it's all about how you took it,
And
right?
never gave up.
No, and even like up until 2-3 years ago, they pulled our team off the car when we were with Blaney, and it was just like you take that. and you get frustrated about it for a
little
minute.
bit of kick in the
like,
teeth.
like I tell guys now, because I'm the longest tenured changer at Penske now. Right?
Okay.
Well,
And I tell the guys now when they get moved, they say, be pissed off for a day,
that's it.
and then get the hell over it and get back to
And
work.
move forward. And
Right?
make it-
Because you got to learn from it.
Make it
Right?
better.
And we've all been there, and it's you control what you can control. Right? Joe Piet told me you need to put us in a position where we can't afford not to use you.
Mhm.
Right?
That's good
So it's
advice.
like, okay, I'm gonna put these guys in a position where when we need someone, whose numbers are the best? Who's doing the best?
And it comes
Who
on
can we
numbers.
rely
Right?
on?
It comes on numbers.
It does,
It
but
does.
then there's
but
also
they know you too as a person, which is so we got let's see, Brandon Shirley says I work with Ryan. The man bleeds racing. He's a good dude.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, and Mike
So-
Allen, both of them boys, all three of
You're a
them.
BMX racer.
Brent Wentz, yeah, those are
He's
all
a
Roush
big-
guys.
Big
Yeah.
Ryan Flores fan.
Those are all Roush guys.
So real quick, I'm going to say it like this, and because I've been thinking about this all day. You know, you're to me, you're a very humble individual, and I like the fact you remind me of another person I know named Jason Palmer. I don't know if you know Jason Palmer, but I watch you on pit road. You know, I'm at the racetrack. I watch you on pit road. You have a bad stop. You come over to the wall and you go, oh, well, next one will be better.
Right.
You know, you don't fluster. You don't get pissed off. You don't throw things. You turn into someone who says, I'm just going to be better next time. And it's like a quarterback. It's like Brett Favre throwing 3 interceptions saying, yeah, we're still going to win the game.
Well,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
And I like that about you because you take responsibility for it too.
Well, it's not a luck thing, right? Like we're not doing good pit stops or bad pit stops off of luck.
Right.
Sometimes you have bad luck, sometimes you have good luck, but like the work is put in, right? And
Yep.
through those trials, it's just been more work. It's just been more work. Okay, I got taken off the car for this. How do I fix it? What work do we put in? So when I have a bad pit stop, it's not like freaking gun don't work. It's like,
Yeah.
okay.
That's what I love about you.
It's why did I have a bad pit stop?
Yeah.
How do I fix it for the next time? What adjustment do I have to make? It's just like when you go to the racetrack and your car's slow. You don't go, this thing's a piece of shit. You go, okay, do I have the right springs in? Where's
Yeah,
Snagger?
what do I need to
running?
do to fix it?
How do we fix
This is on me.
Don't roll the blame.
It's not emotional. Like obviously, like I was on a team with Brad. We lost the championship in Phoenix, right? I was the first time I ever went to win a race.
Yeah.
I was on the 39 car at Richmond,
Okay.
and Clint Boyer got an itchy arm, right?
Right. No.
So I was there. Like I lived it. That was like my eighth race as a Cup tire changer.
Right.
And we got beat off pit road, and it was Mikey Lingerfeld and Ryan McRae and the '99 team who was good.
Yeah.
And they were telling us to suck it like as close as I could ever be. They were 2 stalls away from us, and you're like, oh, that did not feel good. Right? Like, I don't want to do that ever again. So you just learn. Like that's you learn. Those guys now are gone.
Yeah.
Like a lot of them. But you learn from that, and you're like, okay, the Ira Joe Hussies of the world,
Yeah.
and, you know, the guys that I learned from that were like, that I thought like they're real dudes.
So to me though, you know, and I thought about this for a long time tonight because I knew you were coming. I'm thinking, all right, what do I say to him? I'm going to say, because of your experience and your time, you're top 5.
It just depends on the day.
Well, okay.
Average job.
I knew he would.
Yeah.
I knew he wouldn't because
Right.
I'm like, okay, is Ryan a top 10 guy? Is he a top? I'm like, he's probably one of the top 5 front tire changers on pit road. You know, so I'm going to give you that credit. You know, on any given day, you're top 1, but you're in the top. You're in that. You're in a very narrow bracket of being one of the best out there every weekend.
Here's what I'll pride myself on at the end of the day on anything else, right? Everybody that's changing tires at this level is fast, right?
Right.
Everybody that's changing tires on a top 20, top 30 car in the Cup Series is good. They're very good. And they can go, you can all go as fast as the next guy depending on your carrier, your jackman, the people you're with. But what I pride myself on is when that thing comes in with a flat or the right front fender blowing off of it, like it did at Kansas. That thing come in with a right front fender blowing
know
off
where you're
of it,
going with
and
this.
we're in the playoffs. And we send it out in 15 seconds with right side tires and the fender fixed, and it doesn't come back, and we finish the stage 1 lap down and get our
Right.
lap back. That's the stuff that I want to be. Like, hey, when shit hits the fan, I want that guy.
So, and what I'll say about that is that's why I want a guy who is a fabricator
And
and a tire changer
Because I know
at
what
the
to
same time
Yeah.
to fix my right front fender. And not to take anything away from any of the athletes that are out there that but they can't do the
that.
same
Like,
thing
hey,
he
someone's
can
going to
do.
do that.
Right.
Okay. Let's go to TQ Midget indoor racing. Let's jump.
All right.
How did that start?
It started when they first came, when Lenny Salmons and the Salmons family first brought that back to Atlantic City. I was racing Bandoleros and they had us race there that
I
year.
remember that.
I finished second in that race to David Reinhardt. His brother Kyle, younger brother Kyle, drives 410 sprint cars, full-time PA posse guy. David works on my TQ now with us, and he's just an awesome guy. But through there, started watching guys like Joey Payne and Lou Ciccone that kind of became my heroes. That was just an awesome deal to watch. And a couple of years later, when I was working for Tony, I always kind of had that love for midgets and modifieds, and just my dad was always big on like, hey, let's load up and go to Grandview. Let's load up and go to Lincoln. Let's go watch here. We would go to Pennsylvania, watch dirt race and watch asphalt racing. We weren't one dimensional, and he always loved kind of everything. So midgets were always really cool to me, and I got an opportunity through Joey Payne, who's a real good friend of ours, to drive one year, and we had some really good success, but I ended up missing the show by like a spot. And an opportunity came up to buy one of the cars that they were building. That was one that I had, and I ended up buying it. Like I literally put together all the cash money I made from changing on trucks and Xfinity cars all year, like put it under my bed, and then paid for this midget. And I was like, and I got it, and didn't get the race it the first year just because I moved around, and then started racing it. And the first race I ever ran, I passed Teddy Christopher and finished second. Right, and it was cool because Teddy, I never really liked Teddy because I never knew him.
Right.
But we were always racing against him with the bullets and stuff. And he stuffed me in the tires the first time I ever got underneath him.
In the indoor.
And the caution came out. I have a picture on the phone when the caution came out, and I just smashed his head against the steering wheel. So he's all sideways, waved, like what the hell? The next restart, he gave me a lane, and we raced and became great friends after that.
Because it takes that one moment.
Just got to gain respect.
You're Teddy Christopher. You're awesome. You're great. You're a legend, but I'm not going to let that.
I'm here now.
I'm here now. Yeah. Guess what? It's my track too.
And ever since then, like it was never we roughed each other up. Always gave each other lane. Always raced really well, and kind of ran second to Eric Rudolph like 4 times. Andy J and Eric Rudolph. And then I broke through in one. Broke through in one, and
the Western New York guys you're talking about.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Broke through in 1-1, and now we're second on the all-time win list, which is really cool. It
is big.
Yeah, trying to get that and try to win a couple more Atlantic City races.
But you won a championship in what year?
We won a championship in 2017 or 18.
Yeah,
it's always weird because like the year changes, so I never.
Yeah, because you
start right in the middle of it.
In December, and then
December.
So I've been to some of the races at the Atlantic City.
Yeah,
they're amazing. The car turnout, the racing that goes on, and it is intense.
Oh,
because you're in this little. And we used to at the Niagara Falls Convention Center.
Yep.
And myself and another guy used to announce the races, Kenny Hangar. And it's like you, as an announcer, get so caught up in, like, but you're a fan too, and you're like, it was amazing. The tight little track and everything.
The great part about that is, like, because I started racing cup, like, in the Cup Series at such a young age, I missed out on a lot of short track stuff and meeting a lot of those guys. Yeah. But with social media and everything, you get to meet those guys at those races because it's not just TQ Midget stuff.
Right.
It's every racer from everywhere. In the Northeast, you're racing at sprint car guys and modified guys and dirt modified guys, late model guys, everybody, super late model guys from Oswego. So that's what's really cool is like I have so many different friends from different backgrounds now because of that.
Well, even the Supermon guys, like Joe Gosek, I remember him jumping in there. So it was like, it's wintertime, you want to race.
Tyler Thompson.
A lot of people go to that deal.
The crowds are amazing, quick comments here. Tom B., did you ever race at Bridgeport? I think you mentioned that earlier.
I never did, but I want to race there with Jimmy Blewett working on his car, the old Bridgeport. The new Bridgeports are really cool.
Let's see. Bender. Would you rather someone who has changed tires... What the hell's that? John. Would you rather someone who changes tires or someone who knows what to do?
I think you got to be good at both. Because you want someone who knows what to do when it comes in with a fender knocked up, or you want somebody that can change tires and come and lead in. Right?
Bender knows how to do that.
Bender knows. Bender's taught me a lot.
Yeah.
Jane Sigler. Favorite Ryan Flores saying, learn from today and do better tomorrow.
Jane,
absolutely.
Jane she's one of the reasons that I even racing today. Right?
Really?
Jane's been a good family friend and a sponsor for a long time.
And great, is that your motto?
What's
what
that?
she said?
Well, that's just how you try to live. That's how you just try to live every day.
Love it.
Okay, so the indoor racing, are you doing it again this year at all? Or?
Yeah, we'll start. Well, I'm actually racing next week
Yeah.
in Fort Wayne. I got a ride through Lusconi.
Okay.
Who, like, Hero became a friend, and he got me a
amazing.
ride. I'm actually teammates with Billy Weiss and Kenny Schrader at the Rumble in Fort Wayne. So I get
That's
to go.
where's
Not
that
bad
held?
company.
That's in Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Is indoors or outdoors?
Indoor,
Nice.
full midget. So
Okay,
Tony
got it.
runs. It's the one that Tony
Oh,
runs,
that's
the
right.
Munchkin.
Yep. Okay.
So I'll get to go do that next week. I don't know how I'm going to be at it or anything. And I just got done. I came straight here. I told Warren I'm going to
Yeah,
work
yeah,
clothes.
he was working on it.
That's fine.
Crashing on the
we won't-
midget.
We won't have any
Crashing on a midget.
Yeah, work on my midget.
There's
Yeah.
Flo name special.
Yeah, the Joys. At the Joy seating,
Good.
they kind of give me everything I need to do.
Will you
there.
put a sticker on your car for us? if you
Yeah,
do?
yeah.
We just want to be we're involved in that race. That's all. And we'll give you another beer for paying. Actually, we'll do this. We'll let you plug your business, and then that's how the trade-out goes. All right, so you're going to go there, and then that's indoors.
Yeah.
Schrader, that's a pretty good teammate there.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
then-
I hear he's good at beer drinking, so
Yeah.
I'm in the right place to
Ooh,
practice.
yeah.
So yeah, and then
There's only
we'll
one
race,
better.
race Allentown, the 8th, I think, is the
Of January.
of January, and then
Okay.
December or the last weekend of January is Atlantic City always.
Right. So is it the only two? Where is it?
Just Allentown, Atlantic City. They run
Okay.
Syracuse in March,
They used
but
to do that,
I'll
that's
be in
right.
Phoenix.
Right. Okay.
Right.
Syracuse
Day
March.
job.
That was the one I remember.
Which
that.
which I'd love to go do that and
But-
like go race and then fly to Phoenix, but you can't race on Saturday and be
No.
100% cup
No.
racing on Sunday. Like the competition's too tough.
That's good. At least you know you can do this, and your priorities are you know where your career is, and that's good.
Yeah.
So
How much time we got left?
we got 12 minutes.
Okay. Go ahead, ask yours.
What is it the toughest part about those indoor races? I mean, as a fan, you sit there and watch and like, this is insane. And you never really go more than 5-6 laps out of caution. Is that fair to say?
Sometimes when
Yeah.
it gets long, dude, it's not
Yeah.
fun.
Oh yeah.
It's like
it's got to be
you're holding on. I have no power steering. I
Okay.
don't. Well, some people run it, but I don't run it because of the weight.
Really?
Yeah, I just grab on the wheel and just yank it.
Okay.
Young, tough guy.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
So, but it's like you're just like eep, break. Eep, and then
Yeah,
that's the,
it's a lot like road course cornering,
Okay.
but the hardest part I think is the same thing that's the hardest part with tire changing. It's processing information in hundredths of a second.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right, and that's like at the end of the day, we have great athletes and we have not great athletes, and we have all these people, all these walks of life that change tires, but the best ones can process a situation faster than the others. So it's that critical thinking skill that I feel like helps me indoors because my day job I have to use it all the time.
Got it.
Very
So that's what
analytical
seems to
right there.
that's what seems to help.
so here's Purdue
So-
and all those
and-
other colleges
and-
going.
So can I
Well-
take this?
Go for it.
The one lug nut.
Yeah.
Oh, coming up on next year.
And now I know you talked to some other whoever.
It's something that needs to be talked about with everybody right now.
Right.
So
Well, okay. So you're a tire changer. One lug nut. Do you hate it? Love it? Don't care? Gonna just do it? Gonna
the best
embrace
of
it and gonna be great at it? Or what do you think?
Yeah, so for 15 years I've worked at 511, right?
Right.
Everything about that, I've been a student of that for 15 years.
Right.
It's to go into one lug nut. The initial shock of it was like, this is going to be easy, right? But you're back to the grind. That same grind that I did when I was trying to change 5 lug nuts when I
Your
was trying
first
to,
time.
the
Yeah.
first time standing out there. You're back to that.
Right.
But you're 34 years old now, right? So your body hurts a little bit more. Are you as hungry as you are? You got to find that. And that grind is what I love. That's
Yeah.
what I like about
It's your
the sport.
drive.
That's what, like, sometimes it gets a little stale when when you just go through the repetition of
Right.
the season. But like right now, we used to leave Phoenix or Homestead, whatever the last race of the year was, and we wouldn't see the inside of Penske until January.
It's all the time
Now
you have, yeah.
we're in there grinding right
Yeah.
now.
because of the new car.
Yeah, and what I'll say is, like, nobody loves that we're going to a new car, but there's nobody in their right mind that wants to develop a big spring truck arm car, right? And
Right.
we're a victim of ourselves, right? We all take it too far. When there's people having 3 or 4 left side truck arms a weekend
Right.
to maximize your skew, like, you got to put your foot down. And if we want this sport to grow,
We're
as
updating.
much as
We're
we like
updating.
it, like, there's like I said, there's no manufacturer that's building what we're racing.
Right.
So we can be selfish, and for us, we're only worried on the team side. We're only worried about one thing, and that's winning races. Give me the rule book. Let me figure out what to do, and then
How to make it better.
Right, and You have to look at the sport and hope that they can see under the whole umbrella of it and look towards the future.
Right.
Now, 5 lug nuts with an aluminum wheel. So there's a torque ring in a steel wheel. That's why you can get 3 or 4 tight or 5, 5 lug nuts with an aluminum wheel looks like lug nuts recessed like you'd look on your car into a wheel. I don't want no part of that. I don't know if anybody else thinks they can do that in a timely manner, but I don't want no part of that. The one lug nut deal...
We should explain that real quick.
Yeah.
What Ryan's saying is that depth of that aluminum wheel has to be over an inch probably to make the 5 lug nut work on aluminum wheel.
Right.
On our steel wheels that we run now, that depth is only maybe a quarter of an inch, 3/16, whatever. So he's saying he doesn't want nothing to do with the aluminum wheel that has that depth that you would have to deal with to try and hit the
You have to
sword.
put your lug nut perfectly inside of a hole.
Right,
with the
like
lug nut.
putting your wheel on your Honda.
Yes.
Right.
Or yeah.
So
Okay,
now
so
the
go
one
ahead.
lug nut.
So one lug nut for the torque retention, you have to. That's what you have to run, right? It's not like we're trying to be like IMSA or like. I think that is like the short track racer mentality. Is right when you see something, you kind of freak out.
Right.
Like this is ridiculous. But when I went to go do it at practice, I'm like, golly, this is pretty hard, right? The torque, the gun is big.
Right. I saw
And
it's
the
like a
amount
big,
of torque.
The socket's
is a
huge.
lot.
yeah, so like a big toothy, scary thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's the mental side of it. Since you're doing one nut, your body automatically wants to go way faster,
Right.
But there's still that control yourself, like you would hit 5. Control
Right.
yourself, be smooth, get your movements right. So it's going to be very challenging.
All of our lug nuts are left-hand thread.
All of them are left.
So they're going the wrong way.
As opposed
it's
to
lefty tighty,
no, really,
righty
did not know
loosey
that.
on the whole cup,
Did not know
all the
that,
way
yeah.
around.
But what they've done with the pick guns is your reverse valve and everything. Like so, you
So
see
they-
your pole, hit the button. It's all the same.
They fixed
Okay.
it so it's the
Okay.
the
same.
way they did it, it's all the
That's
same.
good.
Yeah, that's
mentally,
good.
because that's a big.
So nobody
switch.
leaves anything loose.
There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of like. There's going to be some growing pains here at the beginning of this. But what's good? Here's what's good, is in sports, in any sport, the highest level, you need opportunities to be better or worse than your competitor. Right. That's
Right.
what competing's all
Yep.
about.
Exactly.
And with this stop, the good stops are going to be close. They're going to be tight.
Mhm.
But the bad stops are going to be
Gonna be
bad.
really bad.
So it's
I
not
agree.
going to be about going. It's not going to be about doing 9-second stops every time. It's going to be about not doing 16ths, right?
So you're
not
looking
having
at
that thing come back
you're
down.
fighting the
You're
long-
Going to be doing about a 10
Yeah.
or a 12. You know.
You know, you want to do.
Okay.
It's going to be how many stops you can do without a mistake.
Yeah.
Got it.
But
Yeah.
the speed. If you try to take it easy, someone's going to smoke you.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
So it's the high level competition on pit road is going to be as much, if not more, than it was with 5 lug nuts. That's what I'm confident about, and that's not like a political answer. I'm in there doing it in the trenches, and that's what it's going to be.
Are we going to wait on fuel?
So I don't think so. Like at the races that you wait on fuel now,
Right.
the Texas or the Michigan, you're going to. But with stage racing, you know when your brake's
Right.
coming,
And-
so you
and
pit.
you don't care.
You don't ever.
You don't
run.
care about
And-
fuel.
And the tires seem like they fall off pretty good,
Right.
so you're going to short pit anyway. And you're
2
starting.
seconds
You're
left.
starting
Some
with
of
20
that.
gallons.
Some of that's going to rely on NASCAR, is what you're saying.
Right. Yeah, you're starting with 20 gallons.
Yeah.
You're starting with 2 more. So I think the easy answer is go. Pit stop's going to be fast. You're going to wait on fuel, but not all the time. You'll run that thing short. You'll run a short fill.
Right.
Interesting. Okay, real quick, tell us about your business.
Yes, I started a powder coating business, just kind of talking with.
Because if you're not busy enough,
The rear change stuff had kind of changed in the race teams, and you used to have to work in the shop to get insurance and benefits,
Right.
and then it kind of changed where they gave picker guys, full-time benefits.
Right.
So I was like, okay, so I have an opportunity to maybe do some other stuff outside of here, and
Right.
I got like a little refrigerator-sized powder coating oven, and Randy LaJoy, they needed somebody that could do their seats.
Right.
So I just started messing with that, and now I got a shop in Huntersville, with 15-foot oven and booth and 3
Yeah.
employees full time, and
Really good.
they're cranking it
Nice.
out. It's really good, and it's I take a lot of what I learned in racing, building a team, and how the times that I was treated good and the times that I left feeling like crap, and try to be that kind of boss. that,
Right,
that's exactly
you don't
it.
get taken advantage of, but you're only as strong as your team.
Sure.
And these kids nowadays, my guys are from anywhere from 26 to 19. So I got like a 26-year-old, a 23 or 4-year-old,
you
and a
can teach
19.
them.
Well, you can teach them, but they also think different than we do right now. So
Sure.
it opens my eyes up a lot to kind of their work ethic
Doing
and what to do.
Instagram likes. Yeah.
They like
But they're
that.
advertising your business at the same time.
But it's it.
And what's the name of it?
It's called Flo Coating.
Flo Coating.
Yep, and we do all kinds of
Okay.
stuff from the not fun stuff to
To the Ray Abraham, all
the
of the.
SRX.
Yeah,
deal.
yeah, SRX,
We did Ryan Priest's snowball derby car this
Yeah, he
weekend.
finished
and then
fourth.
we also do awnings that hang on the side of a building that
Yeah,
aren't that
so-
much fun to look at.
That's
So,
right. But it's all.
I might have some
Everything
tables or
between.
something for you to do one
yeah,
day.
oh yeah, yeah.
Bender says the days of the 69 chassis and rear ends and 15-inch wheels are over. Don't put your fingers in between the new wheel and the caliper tire carriers.
Yeah.
It's
Just
happened a
a warning.
lot.
Yeah, what's crazy about this stop and what we've learned is and what I'll say is the tightness of the wheel was always my job.
Right.
Make sure you get the wheel tight. You
Yeah.
got five nuts. Don't leave it
Yeah.
close tight. Well, now it relies just as much on the guy putting the tire on. Your
Mhm.
jack man on the right front and your tire carrier on the left front. That's a flat hang. So that's what's been a real big learning curve because it used to be kind of a throw and get out of there.
Yep.
And now it's a throw and hold, and it's been different. But man,
It's got to get it on the pins
yeah,
now,
and
right?
I've got a great team that's really open minded. Wisconsin short track guy changing rear tires.
Yeah.
He's a caveman, but we love him, and
Yeah, as long as he gets the job done.
yeah, we have a great.
So in
team.
your mind on pit stops this year, who's going to be the last guy? Who are you going to be waiting on?
It'll be a lot like it'll look a lot like what you've seen
Okay.
in the past, because everything's challenging.
Yeah.
Like it'll look to the naked eye. If you didn't know what you were watching, put it in front of somebody that's never seen a pit stop, it would look exactly the same. One would just look at
Okay.
touch
Just
cams.
curious because I was wondering with just the one lug nut how it worked. Mark Schmuck says this dude is pretty focused, neat dude. Kim, the cute girl upstairs, says, do you powder coat metal furniture?
Only for friends. So, that's
So
good.
yes,
Lucky.
but not really.
Yeah.
No. That's pretty cool. Hey man, I want to thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
This has been very interesting.
Yeah.
We worked together, but I didn't really know you
Yeah.
because you're always that quiet guy. But now I know why you're so focused. Now, what I learned tonight, you are a very focused, analytical man.
Yeah.
Cool.
And we worked
That's good.
together. I knew he's an awesome fabricator.
That's good.
And he's an awesome tire changer and a great guy. Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for coming on. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Larry McReynolds. And in the meantime, shall we?
Cheers.
Good
Say
night,
goodnight,
Dick.
Dick.
Good night,
Good night,
Dick.
Dick.
Get your merchandise. Merry Christmas. Best Christmas present ever. Swear to God. 2 free stickers for every item. Night, everybody. Wow. Hey, another great show.
Great
Thank you
show.
so much, everybody,
Yep.
for tuning
Enjoyed
in.
it.
We appreciate it. We do this every Tuesday night. And Warren, I think the guests we've had have been fantastic.
Phenomenal.
And the people that are following us, we appreciate it. We're reaching 42,000 people a month. Can you believe that? And we appreciate you watching. And
Right. We're having fun. Hope everybody else enjoys it.
that's it. And this is just a fun show. Bucket of beer. Guys sitting around talking about it. So keep tuning in. We appreciate it. Check out our store and everything. But we appreciate you people. And we will see you next week. Right, my friend?
Yes, sir.
All right. See you next week.